Now, we have breaking news from the international arena right at the top of the segment. Carney's Canada changes tune. Canada's big dosti outreach toward India. Canada says India not behind the violence and crime. This is a big reach out, viewers. Ahead of Carney's India trip, gone are the days of bad blood and finger pointing at each other. Khalistani influence in Canada now waning. That remains to be the big question of the hour. But yes, this is right ahead of Mark Carney's visit to India, where we see Canada, in fact, going out there and giving a handout, or rather reaching out with a particular push to renew ties and to, in fact, put everything in the episodes of we've seen finger pointing at each other all in the past. Daniel Boardman, journalist, joining us from Toronto at this point. Daniel, welcome and thank you for speaking to us on India Today. Very good morning to you. Let's understand one thing at this point when we are speaking of India-Canada ties. And I remember when Mark Carney had in fact been elected, we had spoken that time. And there was that conversation and speculation about whether Carney's regime will bring about a change in how Canada views India. And now with such a push coming in, or rather such an outreach coming in from Carney's side, or rather Canada's side, would you say this brings us to a new chapter of renewed ties between the two countries?
Yeah, I absolutely. I definitely think you can't argue that the vibe between India and Canada is in any way similar as we speak right now to when Justin Trudeau and Jagmeet Singh held the balance of power in Canadian politics. So I think we're seeing Mark Carney reverse, or not reverse, or send a lot of signals. Where I don't think this will need some grand reversal of like, we have to rehash the whole, Niger file and do a Khalistani apology tour. But we did do a counterterrorism thing. We gave up the 2011 terrorist mastermind. We gave up a terrorist, which never would have happened under Justin Trudeau. But extraditing a terrorist is a very good sign. And then you see that we're going to stop blaming the Indian government for the crime wave problem in Canada, which is productive. Now there is a crime wave coming from Canada, and a lot of it is international, but that's coming from everywhere. And yes, a lot of it from India, but pretending that it was like a plot by Narendra Modi to like intimidate to pick off some low-level Khalistani gangsters. I think we now know this is like a conspiracy theory, and in the age of Trump returning, it's nowhere near as big a deal as it was at the time when Justin Trudeau started the whole India fight. So I think there's a conscious effort on the Canadian side to if not apologize for that whole fiasco, is to counter signal on the whole thing, right? Whereas the fiasco was like the complete enabling of terrorism. Here we are extraditing one of the worst terrorists there is, right? So this is a good sign, and I think Mark Carney will receive a warm reception in India when he goes there. And Canadians do hope that he gets some economic deals done. But again, this is the stumbling block with Canadian liberalism and the Liberal Party, is like, we can talk a great game, but at the end of the day, if we want to trade with India, we need to have things to trade to them. We have like the most resources in the entire world. We could be the richest country on the planet easily. We have more resources than Qatar and see how they do, but we choose not to extract our resources and sell them. So that's the Canadian, that's a real sticking issue now that we have to get to trade, is like, we might now have a willing trade partner, but we might actually have to, grow some things or pick some stuff out of the ground. And we have lots of stuff, fresh, anything you want, anything India needs, Canada has. Now the battle is, will we be allowed to just have an industry to produce the things that the world needs? Remains to be seen, but hopefully.
Right, Daniel, I must say this, that the tone that you have picked up right now while describing the ties between India and Canada is much different from when Carney had just been elected, and you were still a little speculative about whether or not this will head towards the right direction in terms of relations between the two countries. But now it sounds, you rather sound very optimistic in terms of how this is headed, especially right ahead of that visit from Mark Carney to India. Thank you for joining us on India Today and putting forward your perspective. And with that, viewers, we will, of course, be keeping a very close watch on that very visit, the official visit of Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney to India, which in fact will be taking place.